Adam, nobody believes that was your last nationals as an announcer.
And neither does my wife.
It's showtime. This is The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast, and your one and only source for all things show skiing, bringing you news, knowledge, and interviews with the legends and stars of our sport. Here are your hosts, Matt Heilman and Adam Schaller.
Welcome to The Ski Show, the number one show skiing podcast on the planet. The only show skiing podcast on the planet, and the only media specifically dedicated to this sport. Today we are recapping all the recent action from D2 Nationals, D1 Nationals, Twin Lakes Cornfest. On the show today is D1 National Champion Show Director Dave Rezin. Hi, Dave.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey, Dave.
Hey.
Today, the three of us are going to recap all the tournament action and reveal the points and winners of our fantasy draft from our tournament season preview. Hint, it's not close.
Today's sponsors are the Board Shop. All your summer and winter board sports gear is yours at bswake.com. The Paul Stokes Agency at American Family Insurance. Let Paul be your insurance agent. And as always, FlymanSkis, custom-made jump skis and Featherboard swivel skis at affordable prices. You can get yours at FlymanSkis.com.
Adam, Nationals is over. You are retiring from announcing. Take a step back and reflect a little bit. How are you feeling?
Well, first off, I think we need to address, and I can't believe I'm even talking about this, but it was brought to my attention some of the rumors that are floating around out there of why Adam is retiring
we talked about
announcing.
Yes, let's do this.
Number one, I am not sick.
I took a phone call about that, FYI.
I would love to hear about that. Number two, I am not getting divorced. If I were to stay announcing, I might be getting divorced. No. And number three, I did not take a new job, and I am not moving to California because of that new job.
Oh, those are all the rumor mill, huh?
Like I don't know where those came from because I don't think we've ever hinted at anything remotely close to that. And well, to be honest with you, I don't know if I've even said why I'm retiring from announcing. And to be honest with you, a multitude of reasons. But listen, yes, my last Nationals, and it was perfect. It really was. It was just a lot of perfect moments at Nationals weekend. For me, being the last one, it was fantastic and it was awesome. I wish, everybody that steps back from something could have experienced what I experienced this past weekend at Nationals. Just a great way to go out.
That's awesome. Good for you. And I'm sure people, like, the rumor mill starts because people probably can't believe that in the prime of your career that you're actually stepping back, like Barry Sanders retiring early, so people have to fabricate ideas like he can't really be choosing to step back.
Right. It just goes to prove the theory that show skiing is definitely a cult, and you cannot leave a cult without dying or some other major life change. It's funny, but stepping back. It's been fantastic. I wish I had time to go through it, just all the moments throughout my career as an announcer and how just amazing it's been for me, family, friends, ski team. It's great. So, but yeah, one chapter ends and another one begins. So, all good.
What are you going to do with your time next summer?
We'll see. It's been a long time since I've had a summer without show skiing, but I would imagine we'll be probably traveling around the country a little bit more. My son Colby is in Drum and Bugle Corps, and they do a lot of competitions, just like show skiing competitions, but they do 30 instead of 3, and so we'll probably be following him a little bit more. And and then also Matt, you don't want to do this, but I'm traveling to all the northern teams and watching home shows, and I think that'd be fun to do a podcast from all those locations. But I think you've got other stuff going on next summer. But
Yeah.
I plan to do
Yeah.
that. Spend some more time watching shows.
That would be fun for sure. Like, for our listeners, Adam's like, Matt, you should take next summer off and join me and travel to all the small teams show sites. Let's podcast from there live. What a blast that would be. We could critique shows, whatever, but go hang out at different show sites.
Yeah, I mean, all these little, all these shows, and I shouldn't say little, but all these teams that are even just in the state of Wisconsin that I've been seeing and hearing about at Wisconsin State. Like, I don't know where they're from. I don't know what their home site looks like. I don't know what nights they perform. I would just love to kind of just map out a journey over the course of 3 months and try to hit as many as those as possible. Just check out shows.
Yep. Let's chat, a little bit, reflect on the summer as a whole, gentlemen. Both of you kind of chime in. We're done now. Like, Nationals is over. Labor Day is going to be here. Season's wrapping up. It's the 50th Nationals. How was the summer for you guys?
Go ahead, Dave.
It was long.
Yeah.
I was going to say exactly the opposite. It was like blink of an eye for me.
No, and I think part of that is because it started in March with Team USA, right? And then once we got done with Team USA and traveling and came back over, it was throwing it into overdrive basically and getting our shows ready. And so, no, you're right, Adam. It went by super fast. I mean, the time that we take to come together for Memorial Day and then it's already done. What was now the first week of August, basically. I mean, that's 8-9 weeks, and it flew by. But it's a grind. It's a mental and it's a physical grind. I can tell you right now, like I'm tired. Just like fatigued wise, just physically and mentally or whatnot. But now it's all about getting through the last 3 shows of the season, last 4 shows of the season, and then kind of shutting it out. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. You're right. It is, you kind of get, once that first tournament hits, then it's just really it's a grind, right? You're just tweaking the show, working on the show constantly. But before you know it, it's Nationals, and here we are sitting a week after Nationals and just like, wow, where did that time go? But, great summer. It was amazing. And, just like I said before, just a lot of great moments this past summer, just like every other summer. And it was awesome. But man, time flies, I'll tell you.
Sure does. Yep. A couple weeks ago, we had D2 Nationals. Let's dive in and chat about some of the action there. First place was Silver Lake. They edged out the Ski Sprites. Both teams there had an awesome summer. Great seasons for both of them. Congrats to Silver Lake on winning the D2 National Championship. Talk about awesome seasons. Ben Walker and Lexi Africa, MVPs of the D2 tournament. Ben Walker, 2 years in a row, best male at D2 State, best male at D2 Nationals, 2 years in a row. Insane.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Kudos to you, Ben. Awesome stuff. Lexi, her name's come up in this podcast a lot. She's been nominated for awards. She is on the rise, crushing it, jumping, barefooting, swivel, pyramids, all the things. Awesome all-around skiers. Good D2 Nationals, but there are only 4 teams, so it begs the question, which we'll probably chat about on a future podcast. We've chatted about a lot before. What's the future of D2?
Yeah. I mean, it's Nationals, right? You would expect that you would want, you're performing at Nationals to have more than 4 teams. I think that's just I don't know. It's almost like it's not fair to those 4 teams that are there because they're there to perform at the national tournament. Yet there's only 4 teams, right? Yeah. And so, yeah.
I've actually moved on at this point in time. It's no longer a matter of if something is wrong or if something needs improving. It needs improving, and I think that the overwhelming understanding perception is that okay, something needs to be tweaked at this point in time. 3 or 4 teams is not good enough. So what is that? That's the question. Yeah. What do we need to do to improve upon what is current state to make it better. And there's a number of different ideas out there, and I'm looking forward to the conversations and hearing from skiers and clubs and whatnot. I hope they reach out to us as elite athletes. I hope they reach out to their, regional representatives and their NSSA representatives, because we need that feedback, because we need to do something about it to make it better.
100%. And I think we're ripe for one of our next couple podcasts to really dive in deep on it and just chat about it. And it's you're exactly right. Something needs to change, and hopefully it does, for the good of the sport, good of the teams that like to compete in that division. So let's look forward to chatting more on that.
And before we move off, D2 national individuals still popping, still doing great, awesome.
Yep.
So the individual sport continues to grow. What we're specifically speaking of is the team component. So
yep, and still and another thing we can chat about down the road is still some of the processes for entry for individuals. Like, one funky thing I heard, and it's not his fault, is that you probably know, Dave, one of the Fedorowicz boys didn't qualify for D1, ended up skiing in D2 freestyle. A spot opened up in D1 freestyle, and he could not compete in D1 because he had already competed in D2, unbeknownst to him that a spot was going to open up. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Right. Right.
So
a timing situation. Yep.
Right. So it's too bad. But anyway, individuals are still as popular as ever and growing, to be honest with you. So I think that's another aspect of the sport that we need to continue to capitalize on. So good stuff. Before we dive into, chatting more in our recap here, our Nationals recap, let's chat about the board shop, Adam.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, as we said, summer's winding down, but they have fantastic deals on all the summer gear and accessories you could want. Boards, bindings, vests, apparel, and more. And as we look ahead to hitting the slopes in a few months, holy smokes, talking about winter, they are starting to get in all the newest and best winter sports gear to outfit you and the family.
Yep, and show skiers get a discount at the board shop. You can visit their shop in Lake Geneva, or you can hop online at bswake.com and use the promo code SHOW15 to get a discount on your purchase. That's bswake.com, promo code SHOW15. As an aside, the Richlings are awesome. They're just amazing people. Hung out with them at Nationals. They brought me a gift to say congratulations on opening your Honey Barrel bar, and gave it to me in the beer tent. Super kind of them just to think of that and go out of their way to do that. Super cool. So you guys get your stuff at the board shop. They're awesome.
So Jay and the Wonder Lake guys are planning a trip up to the Honey Barrel.
Yeah.
And swinging through Janesville. I'm scared. I'm
going to be out of town that weekend, I think.
I talked to Hansons and Burners. Yeah, they want to come up. Richling, so that'll be fun. That'll be great.
Yep. It's going to be fun.
All right, well, let's chat. Before we dive into D1 and get to the bulk of our conversation today, let's chat briefly about Cornfest. Twin Lakes Cornfest just happened this past weekend. By the way, I'm wearing the Ski Father tee. Ralph Samuelson. It's got our logo on it. You can buy these. They have a limited supply. Get your Ski Father tee from Lake Lovers. But Twin Lakes Cornfest, Dave, you were there on day one. Actually, it was day two, right? Friday, officially, because it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What an awesome event. My favorite thing about the event, and you can chime in with your experience as well, is the multitude of different towed water sports that they incorporate into one event. Everybody together in this melting pot. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, you have some of the best skiers, some of the most unique events all coming together, and hats off. And again, I'm not going to go ahead and give credit where credit is due, but Dano and Jared and his sister, in terms of all of the organization. It is nonstop action. There's no more than 5 minutes between events, it seems like. They read scores off within 5 to 10 minutes of each event finishing, and they just keep things rolling constantly. The exhibitors booth are absolutely off the hook, amazing exhibitors. offering free swag and free merchandise, as well as obviously, different things that you can purchase. The concessions, everything. I mean, they just do everything oh so well. The town of Twin Lakes just embraces the event. It was amazing. A little bit hot, but it was really cool event once again this year.
Yeah, and the freestyle stuff is so fun. The duos and the different stuff they got going on. The kneeboard, the barefoot, the kids events, and the awards, the podium they have set up, the swag they give away, the way they showcase the winners and the fun and the celebrations and the togetherness. That is awesome. And so kudos to Twin Lakes Cornfest, Lake Lovers Club. Really great stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome, and I mean the collection of skiers that was there was just incredible.
Yeah.
And so, when you take a look at all the best shoe skiers, they kind of hand pick who they want within the events, which I think is a real unique way of doing it. But it also it ensures the fact that you're going to have quality skiing, the best skiers out on the water.
Yep.
Just really, really cool stuff. And then also the club components. They pull all the show ski teams:
Yep.
Browns Lake, Wonder Lake, Mad City, Aquanuts, RAJ. All of them skied there, did little exhibitions. They did kind of like a Tommy Bartlett show last night, which was super, super cool. Got that all that nostalgia feeling going. I mean, again, I just can't speak more for it. It's a huge, huge undertaking that you understand why they can only do it every couple of years, because it's huge.
Yeah. It's big.
Yeah, and the timing of it, because they have it after nationals, is like all the skiers are kind of in their prime, right? But everybody's relaxed because the competitive season is over. So it's a fun vibe.
Yep.
Good stuff. Let's chat about D1 Nationals if we could. Let's dive in and go through some of the results. We've got individuals we're going to start with. And in our individuals, again, like we said with D2, individuals was amazing. Swivel pairs. Bria and Paige won big again. Have they lost a swivel pairs comp since it debuted? They have, Brad. They lost. Oh, Grayson, Kaylee. Yep. So anyway, Bria and Paige have won 4 out of 5 or so. Amazing stuff. Open swivel. How about this? The top 4 were all within 0.2 of a point of each other. 0.2 separated 4 people. The top 2 were separated by 2 100ths. 0.02 separated first and second place. And amazingly, so happy for this girl, Paige Pashina took first place in open swivel. Absolutely amazing. How fun is that for her? Caroline was second. Bria was third. Maddie was fourth. Any of the 4 of them could have won that with one little tweak of one judge's number. The whole thing is different. Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing competition to be that tight for the top 4. I mean, and the top 4 are so good. So yeah, just amazing.
Yeah.
We're score junkies, right? And Brad does a great job from an analytics standpoint. He took the swivel scores and he went ahead and broke down each swiveler, each judge, and where that judge placed that swiveler. I think he did what, 1 through 7, Brad? Maybe 1 through 6, 1 through 7. And it's crazy how it's all over the board, which is no slight on the judges at all, because that's just how close the competition was. But it was insane. Just again, how the different perceptions of the different judges of the different runs, basically, and where they had everyone stacked and how close it was. Right. So.
Yeah. Doubles, Corey and Kim won their 12th national championship. Their 12th.
12th.
Legendary.
A dozen
Legendary.
national championships.
Yep.
Unreal.
Congratulations.
Good stuff. Team jump.
You know you're good when you just throw out a slalom ski.
Yeah. Right.
You say, you know what? I'm just gonna do everything. on a single ski.
Yeah.
Not one pass, not two pass. I'm just going to do it all.
Yep.
Yep.
The dude's a hoss.
Cable. Yeah.
Yep. Cool stuff.
Unbelievable.
Great stuff. Team jump. Massive field, like 12, 13, 14 teams in team jump. But Catfish Bay, how about this jump back? So they scored what would have been their point total was a 448-point jump act. 4 guys, 1 boat. Gainer, flip, flip, gainer. Gainer, flip, gainer, flip. Flip, gainer, flip, gainer. They could have come to the beach then and clean, but no, they decided to go for a 4th jump and did a triple gainer with a cut under.
That's ballsy.
And come to the beach and stop
And
it.
that's a 448.2 ski jump
Yes.
back, right?
Yes.
So not single ski,
No.
2 ski jump back, which my point being harder to get those high difficulty scores.
Yeah.
So
Like incredible. Maybe our podcast awards committee could consider throwing them in for like jumper of the year. Like if we've got some space in that top 5 instead of a single jumper, that was impressive. And Catfish
and
Bay,
other than James Bruns, I don't know the other 3 guys. Obviously, they're all great jumpers in their own right, but I know that composition of 4 guys has grown up together. 2 years ago, I think they were national champions as well, and they just keep getting better and better and better together. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
And that single, that what do they have, like a hydrodyne, outboard, just spinning these 4 guys around. It's so awesome.
Yeah.
So awesome.
Great stuff. Women's freestyle, amazing. Like there's not enough superlatives for Sarah Fedorowicz. She won in a landslide. She made a 1 ski gainer and a 1 ski flip. Like that would have put her in the middle of the men's competition, if for finish for sure. I probably should look at scores, maybe even higher. But 1 ski gainer, 1 ski flip for a young female jumper, unbelievable. She edged out Bailey Hyatt, Presley Cup, Gabby Tash. Really fun stuff to continue to see the rise of women's freestyle. I'm excited to see where it goes. Like, what's it going to look like 5 years from now? Does it continue to rise? Does it plateau? What do we think about that?
So let me just touch on. We all know how awesome Sarah is. I want to give you a quick story about how tough she is.
Yeah.
In team jump competition, if you saw the triple gainer, it was scary. Like it was
locked up.
tips in. Sarah went tips in. I almost looked like a daffy. I was worried about like a pelvic injury or something like that. So anyway, I'm down chatting with the freestyle jumpers prior to going ahead and doing announcing. And Sarah comes running down, and she was late because she was in the medical tent. And she comes up and she stands next to me, and Curtis is doing his thing or somebody's doing the safety talk. And she's like, Dave, she's like, can you look at my nose? And she's like, is it broken? And it was swelling, and under her lip, she had blood coming out or whatnot. And I'm like, I don't know if it's broken, Sarah, but it's at least in alignment. She's like, okay, good. I'm good to go then. That's how tough that was before
I'm good.
She made her 1 ski gainer and her 1 ski front flip, and after she completely went ahead and went tips in on triple gainer. I mean, the girl is steel. It's just amazing.
Unreal. And Brad just came in with the points. She had 528 points. It would have placed her 8th in the men's lineup, right about middle of the pack, in a lineup that had multiple guys landing
stacked
backwards.
lineup. Yeah.
Like, she would have placed 8th in the men's lineup. Incredible. Like, wow. And I can't wait to see where women's freestyle goes from here. Like, just this week, Gabby and Josie flip over flip. Like, 2 girls, never been done. Presley Cup made her first 1 ski flip.
1 ski front. Yep.
Like, wow. Let's keep it going, ladies. It's so cool. On the men's side, Bryson Mace had a day, Dave, and you saw him all summer and the way he grew. Bryson took first. Kale took second. Eli took third. All these guys landing backwards, back halves, front halves, mobs. Like, this lineup had it all. And kudos to Bryson. Young stud.
Yeah, proud of obviously all three of those guys, and how young they are,
Yeah.
and what it is that they're doing. Bryson, it's been and Eli for that matter. It's been interesting because they've come up here and they've grinded, 4 or 5 days a week. They're getting more water time that they ever have, and they just blossom. But Bryson did a couple buck ups. He did state as well, and he learned the value of starting strong and building confidence. So he went ahead and his mob has turned into his most consistent trick, and that's what he came up to Wisconsin with. And so he started out with that mold versus going ahead and going with the front half. His front half, I would say he's 80% on. And so he felt really good following the mold, making the front half. And he had one of his best front halves. And I would say his back half, he's probably 40 to 50% on, maybe. And he was so pumped up to be able to go ahead and even have a third jump and to try that back half.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just ecstatic about that. And I've never seen him do a back half like that ever. None of the guys have. And when he went ahead and he nailed that, it was just like, yeah, that was Bryson's day. That was it was good stuff.
It's fun. Men's freestyle. They've got a buck up coming up. Be a bunch of dudes going to Shatek next weekend for the buck up competition. Prize money on the line. Which, as an aside, quick aside, I had an interesting conversation with Pete Hegarty about it. Like, and I don't know if this is the mindset of all of them, but I was talking to Pete about buck up and what he's going to do and how he's feeling about keeping up with these boys, with Bryson and Eli, and if he's going to do a back half and a front half. And he said, Pete's quote to me was, $1,000 is better than no dollars. And so, because if he tries a front half in finals and falls, he's off the podium. And if he makes a back half and a one ski flip, he's going to at least win some prize money. So that mindset is seeped in. Okay, maybe I'm going to dial it back and win a little bit of money rather than full send. So I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of the young guys aren't thinking that way. But the KG veteran Pete is thinking how he can take some money home and pay for his plane tickets.
It's funny. That's how the old school pro tour guys used to think.
Yeah.
Right? It's not necessarily about beating Dave Reinhardt on any given weekend. Yeah. It's what can they go home with?
Uh-huh.
Right.
Exactly. So, how can I pay for my rental car this week?
Right.
Yep. All right, let's get into the team event, gentlemen. In first place, as we know, the Rock Aqua Jays, 2,064 points, which, by the way, is a massive number in the difficulty chart era. Dave, as you said, we are nerds when it comes to scores and numbers. That's a huge number. Absolutely huge number. 2,064, first place. Mad City was second. Wonder Lake third. Nuts fourth. Badgerland fifth. Webfooter sixth. Crivets Ski Cats seventh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So how about 6 of the top 7 teams being from Wisconsin? That is wild to me. I didn't know that until I started prepping for this podcast. It hadn't dawned on me, and I was going through the scores. I'm listing these out, and I was like, holy crap. RAJ, Mad City, Nuts, Badgerland, Webfooters, Crivets, all in the top 7.
Yeah, Badgerland, Webfooters, and Crivets, hats off to those teams.
Yes.
That's good for you guys. That's awesome.
Yep. Highest scoring act of the tournament and best ballet was Mad City's Ballet 1 with 460 points. Again, a huge number. There were big scores in this tournament. Big number. Hats off to our ladies. Holy cow, did they grind this summer and put in the time, and we pushed them, especially as it came down to tournament time. We just kept working and working and working, and they crushed it. So happy for them. Best jump act, our Mad City boys, jump 1, 445 points. We had Jack, Matt Strode, Parker Wong, Carter Buckman, 4 boys, 3 jumps, all one ski stuff, great stuff. And Adam, you're probably happy that there were no falls there from an announcement standpoint.
If you would have asked me in June, if you told me in June that Mad City is going to have the highest scoring jump act at Nationals, I would have laughed at you and I'd be like, oh, no way. But man, because all season long there'd be a fall or two, and just as an announcer, I've always said jumping is my favorite and least favorite act to announce, and man, those boys pulled it together for Nationals, and that was cool. They, when the time comes, they were gamers, so good for them.
Yep. Best barefoot, Wonder Lake 7-man back barefoot line. Amazing. 454 points, money, clean, and they have more than that for back barefooters. So Jarrett Graff got injured before the tournament, was out. They put Scott DePorter in the 5 high instead of back barefoot. They have numbers to do more than 7, and they rolled out 7, 454 points.
Well,
awesome.
What was interesting is when they came out to accept that award, and you guys probably know this better than me, but what's the average age of that back barefoot line?
Old.
Right? It is. I mean, back barefoot is it's a craft, right? And it's just it's not being done anymore. It's not being done anymore. And these guys come out and that was the 40 plus back barefoot line.
50 plus. Someone said it was 51 was the average age in that line.
Holy smokes. Yeah.
That's insane.
So here's a call out to all you young guys, 7-man back barefoot line, highest scoring act, highest scoring barefoot act. I mean, work on those flip turns. I mean, let's bring back barefoot back. I mean, how cool is that?
So cool. Yep. Best pyramid, RAJ final pyramid, beautiful, 439 points. Did you guys ever toy with the idea of quad 4s, or did you got so consistent with the 4-3, 4-3-4 that there's no reason to even mess with it?
Yeah, this is where the strategy comes in, right? You do quad 4s and you lose 2 off the dock, and all of a sudden you're only getting scored for 2 4 highs, basically. Whereas you run a 4-3, 4-3, 4-3-4, you have a lot of different options if you have losses off the dock to still go ahead. And so, just like you guys are, all of our 3 highs are trained in, if something happens in one of those 4 highs, what they need to immediately do.
Yeah.
So we just went, and then you take a look at the compression at the top with the difficulty charts. That subjectively, is right around a 23. A quad 4 is a 24.
Yeah.
So it's like you go with the more conservative, and you don't worry about the point.
Yeah, we had 2 1s in between ours. 2-4, 2-4, 2-4, 2, and all the 2s had the ability to transfer either way and carry a 4 tier if we had falls off the dock.
Yep.
Yeah. So good stuff. Best strap doubles act, Rock Aqua Jays. Best swivel act, Wonder Lake. They had 2 fantastic swivel acts.
Yeah,
really good stuff there. Like to see swivel scores on the rise where they were at Nationals. That was good to see. RAJ took best dock, best pickup boat, best towboat, best showmanship, and best production. How about that production, Dave?
Well, before we go on with
Good
that,
Lord. Production,
I hope it's not. I don't want to gloss over what you just said, because whether it be swivel or doubles or variety acts, for the first time in a long time, at least based on my review of the scores, we saw an uptick. Mm-hmm. And so, going into the season, I was happy if variety act and swivel and doubles were going to score 350, and we saw 370-ish, yep. 400, getting close to 400 both at state and at nationals. I hope that sticks. I hope the judges give those acts what they deserve and start grading them a little bit higher. I know they don't have a difficulty matrix associated with it, but then that gives teams the willingness to go ahead and put more of those acts out on the water. So
yeah, and we'll dive into production when we get into our one-on-one here with Dave and his reflection on the championship. Let's keep rolling through results a little bit. Mad City won Sound Crew. Congratulations to you, Adam, and Jackie. She's amazing. Right? Yep. She's awesome. And
best in the business.
congrats to you on winning that best sound crew in your final nationals. That's awesome.
Thank you.
It's a good way to go out.
Yep. Skip Gilkerson, Dan Laughlin. So many young guns in this tournament, and Dan Laughlin did everything.
Yep.
He had a huge show, so much variety in his show. Congrats to Dan Laughlin on winning the Skip Gilkerson Award.
I mean, that guy's been through all the injuries, knees, shoulders, everything, face. And I mean, to get one of the old guys, like you said, he stood up his show, great job. And to go against some of these up and comers, these young bucks that are throwing what they are, that says something.
Absolutely. Willa Cook, Gabby Tashwer. Could not be more proud of that young lady. Wow. So fun to see her do that. She wanted it. She worked hard. And she stomped her show.
Yeah, and she's a role model on and off the water, like Gabby Tash, right?
She is.
Yeah.
And I said to Gabby after the awards were done, I mean, and I said it to her at state too. Her worst day probably was a year ago at nationals, and to take that and to fuel her and to see what she's done this year. Wow. I mean, from start to finish, her showmanship, what she's done on her swivel is underappreciated, and she's gone leaps and bounds on her swivel. Her freestyle jumping is fantastic. I mean, and what she does for your team just in terms of being a leader.
Yep.
Awesome.
It's funny story. So she's next to me in Final Pyramid. We're climbed down. She's on Brad coming in, who is next to me. And I knew at that point she was clean. And we're rounding the corner, and there actually were a couple ropes in the water, started getting a little bumper cars, and I'm yelling, "Stay the hell away from Gabby! Get her to the beach! Get Gabby to the fucking beach!" And it was hilarious, and she's smiling and laughing, and but like, get her to the beach. I knew she was clean. I knew she had a chance at it in the middle, at the end of our show. Did not want to see something dumb happen. So, funny stuff. So
yeah, just to call out there, like I believe Josie had a clean show and
Yep.
Sarah had a clean show too.
Yep.
And so I mean, wow. Again, wow.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome ladies talent there. Let's chat about a few things that stood out, and I made some notes here, but you guys can chime in. The number of high scoring acts was pretty impressive. A lot of teams came to bat with some really cool high scoring stuff. And even some stuff like near misses, like Wonder Lakes prefabs didn't make it, could have been huge. 5 high could have been huge. Couple little things, but really great skiing. Aquanuts only had 5 falls. Took 4th place with that small of a team that they have. I mean, they've got talent, but their numbers are down. 5 falls, 4th place. That's impressive.
Yep. They know how to put a show together to utilize the talent that they have to make up for, their size.
Yep. How about Badgerland? D2 last year. 2 years ago, they got relegated. They took last in D1 in Wisconsin State. They moved down to D2 in 2024. They win D2 State. They win D2 Nationals. They're back in D1. And they took 5th place at D1 Nationals.
I think it's a great example of doing what you do well, right? And what they do well is ballet lines, big act, swivel, and doubles and pyramids, and they do all those things very, very well, and they ski them clean, and they have a really, really solid production usually from start to finish as well. So
their stage show is fantastic. Yeah.
Yep.
Cribben Ski Cats, first Nationals, 7th place for that little team.
They skied great.
They did. And the talent, right?
Show.
You got Kale, Josie, these guys are crushing it.
Yep. Stepped it up. It was awesome.
And as we're recording this, they've already their season's done.
Yeah.
They were done this past Wednesday, basically. But
so
some of the cool things there, just stepping outside the box, they brought in their opening pyramid with Josie doing, spinning 720s at 20 some miles per hour, basically.
Yeah.
Just little things that make you notice, right? And to add a little bit of difficulty and spectator appeal.
I talked about Paige Pashina, first place. I'm just so impressed with her rise, and congrats to her. Ski Otters Barefoot, we talked about them last year. They brought it again. Less than perfect conditions for barefooting. did you see the barefoot overhead?
No,
I did not.
Dude did
What?
a freaking barefoot overhead.
Like an overhead.
Overhead spin 360
What?
on his bare feet. Yes, I shit you not.
I didn't know that was even a
He's like one of two in
Possibility.
the world that can do it.
wow.
and he did it at nationals, which it was chippy. I mean, the water was
he
not
got
awesome.
around. I think he just fell on it, at the tail end of it. But I was blown away. I was watching from that corner of the beer tent, and it was coming at us. I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah.
It was awesome. So cool. Carter Borman, 3 barefoot circles with 5 turns
Yep.
in those 3 laps.
Yep.
Just spinning, making it all the way in. Question for you guys. The tournament was not at capacity of 14 teams for the second year in a row at D1 Nationals. Now, we talked about D2 only having 4 teams. We fell just shy this year. Any theories? Fluke, travel, down years for teams? What do you think?
Yeah, I was thinking about that when you guys were talking about the 4 teams at D2, but D2 individuals is on the rise, and I think a big part of it is just it comes down to travel and expense. It's a hell of a lot easier to throw a swivel ski in a car and drive to a tournament than it is to organize 50, 60, 70, 100 people plus 5 boats and an equipment trailer, to get to these tournaments.
Yeah,
I think it's multi-layered. I think it's that, and I think it's in the times that we are in right now, you have to make it more than a competition, and I think the 50th offered some of that, but I think you have to make it an experience in an event, and so we have to learn where we're doing that and where we're doing that well, and then try to mimic that in other places so that teams want to come. They want to not only compete but see other teams ski and be a part of that atmosphere. And I think that nationals is a highly competitive environment, which it should be, right? But I'm wondering if we need to add to that a little bit.
Yeah, it's interesting. I also wonder if it's part of it is just a product of teams' seasons. So like Little Crow and River Rats were way down this year. Which the Rats have been interesting historically. They used to not come to nationals every year. They were kind of an every other year thing, and then they got real good, and they came for a few years in a row, and now they took a step back. They lost a bunch of skiers. They lost Donnie Phillips, and now I wonder if they're going to go back into that mode of not coming to nationals regularly. But you wonder if some of it is just specific teams, situations that typically come to nationals that maybe impacted their ability to come.
Yeah, there's, like Dave said, there's a lot of layers there, and there's a lot of reasons, and I think we're gonna have a lot of heavy topics on the podcast this coming fall.
So, yep, should be good. All right, well, we're gonna interview Dave here, Adam, about their big victory, but before we do, let's chat about FlymanSkis.
Yeah, FlymanSkis is everywhere right now at D1 Nationals, live streaming Cornfest, and then sponsoring and live streaming the Buck Up this coming weekend in Chautauqua. Check that out. And Flyman riders absolutely crushed it at Nationals. Bryson and Kale, first and second in men's freestyle. Sarah was first in women's freestyle, and Bree and Maddie, top 4 in swivel.
Yeah, and as you know, these skis are made for skiers, by skiers, and they're affordable. They have custom-made jump skis and featherboard swivel skis for skiers of all abilities. To get your skis, reach out to Flyman at an event near you or hop online at FlymanSkis.com. That's FlymanSkis.com. All right, talk about this victory, Dave. How exhilarating was that for you in that moment to win that?
Well, I think the season's been a bit of a roller coaster ride, right? In one sense it's been short, in another sense it's been long. What happened at state and whatnot, it felt like, okay, we need to, with the 50th, we need to get this one. And then as we're reading off those first 2 scores, and Mad City gets that 460 some for ballet and that 445 for jump.
Made you
Again,
think.
being a score junkie, I'm like, wow, those are big scores. Those are big scores. And so you said it, Matt, when you went ahead and, as you always do, you're first there to shake my hand and to greet me and to give me a hug, vice versa when it's you. It's relief, right? It's relief. It's like the Scotty Scheffler interview from a couple weeks back that he did. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, exhilarating. I know how hard we worked all for it. We, as a team, just put the pressure on ourselves. That we, worked on the 50th for the better part of 2 years, just from a tournament standpoint, as well as wanting it to be a memorable season. And we brought back Ski Haw as a production because I wanted to bring that nostalgia component back for some of our alumni and whatnot, and we were able to do that for them. And so I liked that part of it and that aspect of it. And then just big things within the show, whether it be the opening barefoot line in 18, or we had the 5 high for a while, but we still did a massive opening pyramid and our jump and our all the way down the line. So
Yeah.
it's been a great season.
What was the and I talked to you briefly after you guys had won, and I think the first thing you said to me was is just like you said, it was more of a relief than anything. Because you were under a lot of pressure this season, being the 50th Nationals, and you guys wanted to bring it. And so how did, and I don't think we've talked to you about this. Well, we haven't on the podcast anyway, but that experience at state, what was the mindset after that going into nationals? I mean, did that just crank up the pressure even more? I mean, talk to us a little bit about that, because we talked about our experience at state, and we came out on the good side of that experience, but you guys came out on the other side of that.
Well, I think the first thing, like, my leadership style it has really changed this past year, and I said from the start of the season that I wanted everybody to enjoy the journey this year because it was such a special season, and that we were going to do some really special things this year in terms of acts and numbers and difficulty. And if all we have in our sights is winning nationals, it's going to be a fleeting moment. It's going to, if we do accomplish that, it's going to feel empty soon thereafter. And so when state happened, it was easy to go ahead and rest on kind of that leadership style and say, hey guys, this is just part of our journey. This is, we're going to remember this, right? And to be quite honest with you, the right scores occurred. Mad City deserved to win. Our 5 high went down 25 feet before the main dock, and we got scored ones and twos for bringing a 2-1 through the show course. The judges judged that right. There's no argument. I think what kept me up for the next week was, oh my gosh, should I have done something different with that act? Should I have made a better decision there? It wasn't about first place getting stolen from us, which kind of turned into the narrative. I think, whether it be the discussion forum or online or what people were talking about, Mad City deserved to win that tournament. We deserved to take second place. It was, man, what if that wouldn't have happened? More so.
Yeah, and I like hearing that, your that leadership style and the messaging to the team, but internally you had to feel immense pressure to win the 50th. No?
I mean,
whether it's put on by yourself or the legacy of the Rock Aqua Jays in the 50th,
yeah.
You and I are the same. We put so much pressure on ourselves to do a good job and to lead our teams, but I don't know that you could hide from that pressure fully, could you?
We did not talk about necessarily as a team winning nationals. We just talked about going ahead and again, not to use superlatives, but doing good today, being better tomorrow, stacking, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Individually, yeah. Like, I mean, you can't hide from the fact that this is the 50th. It's in Janesville. It's there's the narrative behind it of Matt doing Mad City, Dave doing Rock Aqua Jays, which gets built up a little bit beyond what it needs to be. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's relief when it's
Yeah.
all done. So
Was this the show you put on at Nationals? Was this the most difficult RAJ show that there has ever been?
by far, by far. When you take a look at our difficulty from act to act, and the numbers that we put in each act or whatnot, yes. Now it's all based on the time of when you're looking at that, and 5 years from now we may not think the same, and back in 1989 they may not have thought the same, but without a doubt, when you take a look at again the numbers and the average difficulty within each act, yeah, absolutely. Also, just like it was new for us this year to run two ballet lines, and so we literally came into it this season going, how are we going to get all these skis and ropes into play? And working through that, and Amanda and Sam and Kendall did a great job doing that, and so there was these little nuances to the act order and to the production that we had to work through, but we did so pretty well.
So talk about that production. It was your best in a long time in my opinion, for the Rock Aqua Jays. How did that all come together?
Well, like I said, last year in Warsaw, we were winding ropes, and it so happened to be Bob Glendy, which is Mitchell Glendy's father. He's on the ski team. Bob doesn't any longer, and he was there. And I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I have an idea for next year. I want to go ahead and I want to bring Ski Haw back." And he was the show director back in 1989. But I'd like your blessing and your permission to do so because that's your theme. And my intent isn't to do a carbon copy, but to again pick 6, 7 things out and to pull those out and to do a kind of a reprisal of it. And he's like, I love that idea. So that's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take a look at some of the old footage, BC in his glory days, and
Money.
when I feel like he was at his very best, was New Kids on the Dock. It's that 80s, it's that early 90s,
I
and
told Adam when that video was posted of the Ski Haw Jump Act from '89 that was the best I've ever heard Brian Cullen in his life. Like his rhythm and timing and execution of that, which by the way was like a 5-minute jump act. It was insane. But that video is a masterclass in announcing.
yeah, he had the southern drawl, his tone, his inflection, everything about it. And so when I pitched it to him, he was all for it. He was all in. He was good to go. And then yeah, we just kind of we took it from there. And there was little things in that theme like picking and grinning that the entire team like embraced. They love picking and grinning after Big Act, and everybody loves doing that. And then the farm animals were like how can you have hee haw or ski haw without having farm animals, right? And so my daughters Cameron and Kendall, they go to school with the Combs family boys, and floated the idea to the Combs, and they are big into Rock County 4-H and the fair and whatnot, and they went ahead and they said we'll be down there every Wednesday and Sunday night, and I'm like, well, what are you thinking? And they're like, well, we could do a petting zoo, and we could, at intermission, have kids come in the petting zoo and before and after the show and take pictures. And so it all morphed into this huge thing, which worked out really well. And then we incorporated them at the beginning, in the middle, and then in the end. And the crowd absolutely loves it. Like we bring them out on the stage at the beginning of the show, and the crowd just starts clapping just on its own. So it was a lot of fun having the farm animals. Now the occasional little, you know, mess on stage every once in a while. But we cleaned that up pretty quick. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I pride myself on our themes and our storylines, but I knew I was chasing you guys all summer in terms of production. I mean, when you guys at nationals, like live animals, plus tractors and trucks and everything else that you do. I mean, I was like, I'm feeling good about our production. Matt C's got a magic boat. We threw in a 4-wheeler. I tried my damnedest. I wanted to come out on stage on a mini pony, but I could not make that happen. I would have loved that, but we would have been chasing you guys. So, hats off, well done.
Yeah, thanks to the Cook family, we implemented the truck like a week and a half prior to the tractor a week and a half before nationals, and then the truck and whatnot. So it was a lot of fun. Everything came together at the right time, and I think for me, one thing that I have done in the past as show director is, you work hard to get to Mercury and you get it on the water, and then you make some improvements to state, but it's so easy as show director to just let it glide into nationals and to not push yourself. And we really pushed ourselves from a production aspect to add those additional components, and that helped us a lot, I think.
For sure.
Awesome.
Yep.
Congrats to you on an awesome season, Dave. Like, way to go. 50th national championship, all the things. Great, incredible show. So congrats.
Well, thanks to you guys for pushing us, because that's what we do for one another, and that's why we continue to get better each and every year. So it's a rivalry that continues and that will continue for years to come.
Yeah, it's good stuff. All right, we're now going to recap the fantasy points, but before we do that, we need to sing the praises of Paul Stokes and American Family Insurance, Adam.
That's right. Paul is a fantastic barefooter and an insurance agent. First of all, congratulations in order. Paul won the gold medal in the pro men's wake slalom at the U.S. National Barefoot Competition. Like I said, fantastic barefooter. His first gold medal since joining the pro division in 1994. That's an amazing accomplishment.
Unreal. Like, kudos to Paul on winning that. And Paul has been a great supporter of this podcast, and he's a top-notch insurance agent backed by the best at American Family Insurance. Everyone has insurance coverage, but you should at least get a no-obligation quote from Paul, and you just might find that his prices and coverage and service are superior to what you've currently got. Hit up Paul Stokes at American Family Insurance and let him be your insurance agent. And congrats again, Paul, on that gold medal. Way to go. All right, gentlemen. You ready for the bad news?
Here we go. Now, I said going in this podcast, I'm like, all right, great. I have to listen to Dave talk about their first place at Nationals, and I have to listen to Matt talk about his fantasy win. So here we go. Let's get it over with.
So let's break it down. Heading into Nationals, Adam had 224 points. He had Badgerland and Wonder Lake left. He also had Eric Lebda and Grace Petzold as his MVP picks.
They're still my MVPs. I love you guys.
Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. Heartwarming. He got 60 more points from Badgerland and 75 for Wonder Lake. You ended up with a total of 359 points. Dave had 212 going into Nationals. He had the Web Footers, Mad City, and Lake City left at Nationals. He had Sarah Fedorowicz and Aragorn Lighting as his MVPs. He got 85 points for Mad City, 55 for the Web Footers, 42 for Lake City, and finished with 394 points. So ahead of Adam, Dave has 394, Adam 359.
Yep.
I had 249 going into Nationals. At Nationals, I had Shermalot, The Nuts, RAJ, the Ski Otters, and 5 Seasons. I had Gabby Tash and Jack Heilman as my MVP picks. I got 100 points for RAJ, 46 for the Otters, 38 from Shermalot, 68 for the Nuts, 26 for 5 Seasons, for a total of 527. And I had Gabby Tash winning female MVP for a bonus 50 points. 577 points, gentlemen. You all owe me a bottle of nice bourbon.
You own a bourbon bar. I'm not giving you a bottle of nice bourbon.
No, you're not.
No.
That was fun stuff. Like, just kind of fun little way to do our tournament season preview and watch how the teams do and how they perform. Yeah, so there you go.
That created a lot of buzz. It created a lot of.
Well, yeah, it's because you guys chose each other's
opposite
opposing
teams.
teams. Like that's what the buzz was. They're like, "What are you doing, picking Mad City, Dave? Like, what the hell?"
Yeah, that. But like other teams would come up and be like, "Hey, thanks for choosing my team."
Exactly. I got private messages like crazy, like, "Oh, thank you for thinking of us," and it was fun. It was
What about
cool.
all the private messages you got for like, why weren't we included?
Right? You forgot about us. Thanks for hating us.
I am
can't
gonna
win.
do outreach. I think next year to make sure that I understand if the team is going to come to nationals.
Yeah,
basically.
right. That's part of it, right?
Yeah.
I think even if I had drafted Mad City first and Dave had RAJ, I would have still won.
think you would have.
So that's that. Anyway, good stuff. Fun season. Great year. Like, final thoughts on the season, gentlemen. The competition season, the summer. What are your final thoughts?
You know, it was my last one. It was, you know, I joked with, you know, our stage crew, because every time we would have a Tuesday practice, I'd be like, all right, this is my last Tuesday practice the 2 weeks before state. And so it was just doing that all summer, and it was just fun. And as Dave said that he emphasized with his team, was enjoy the journey. And that's really what it was about for me and for my daughter this year, was just enjoying the journey. And, nationals was just the icing on the cake. It was fantastic.
Like Brett Favre retirement? Is it? Are you done forever? Or
Brett Favre retirement, as in I'm gonna come out of retirement and join another team?
No,
as far as you know that,
right? No, not join another team. But is the door closed, or is it a step back for an extended period of time, and we'll see what the future holds?
I'm never going to say never, but, I do feel like that this is kind of it. I'm not saying the door is completely closed. I think there's some other probably announcing opportunities out there. Maybe we'll see. But, I have to take a step back and just see what life is like without show skiing, and just, be able to enjoy my kids and the other activities that they're now just kind of getting into, and being a big part of that. So, but show skiing is always going to be a huge part of my life for sure. And man, it's been a hell of a ride.
I have a litmus test question for you. You are not announcing next year, Adam. Are you writing Mad City's script or theme next year?
Mad City has been in denial.
It's a yes or no question, Adam.
No, I don't know. Mad City's been in denial that like this is actually happening. And so I think they have some figuring out to do in regards to like, okay, who's going to be on stage? And if they're on stage, who's writing the show? I'm happy to help out for sure, working as kind of a consultant, because, it's Mad City. It's who I am. And of course I'm going to help. So
the truth is, Dave, we've not had that conversation once.
Nope.
Between us. So that conversation has not come up. We've got.
I'm glad I was able to broach it for you guys.
Yeah. We've got some ideas floating, but we have not had in-depth conversation. We are ill-prepared for the next step. So
that's okay. Next step will be a good step.
Hey, by the way, isn't there a congratulations in order for the two of you? Right? Correct? Yeah. The Thursday before Nationals, you guys were selected to be the show directors for Team USA.
Yeah. Fun stuff.
Congratulations.
Here we go again, Indiana. Warsaw.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, should be great. Dave, congrats to you on a fantastic show, fantastic season. Awesome 50th. Guys, thank you to our sponsors as well. The Board Shop. All your summer and winter sports gear is yours at bswake.com. FlymanSkis, custom-made jump skis, Featherboard swivel skis at affordable prices. Get yours at FlymanSkis.com. And Paul Stokes at American Family Insurance. Get stoked and stay stoked with Paul Stokes and American Family.
Yep. Thanks again to all of our listeners and viewers. This is Matt and Adam and Dave, and this is The Ski Show.
Thank you for listening to The Ski Show, the ultimate show ski podcast with Matt and Adam. If you have questions or ideas for the show, find us on social media or message us at theskishowpodcast@gmail.com.